Hello everyone, welcome to part 2. The next aspect that we will look at is how the dancer uses space in each dance. In the Highland Fling, the dancer only moves up and down, whereas in the Earl of Barrel, the dancer moves both up and down and side to side. I must say that the dancer has not done these dances in a very long time, so there was some extra movement in each dance. For the most part, the first dance stayed in one place, and the second dance traveled a bit more. I must also say that these steps are not the only steps that you can do. However, because I wanted to show more of a contrast between these two dances, I chose to show very stationary steps in the fling and 2 traveling steps in the Earl. It should also be noted that the dancer was going off of memory, so she may have exaggerated the use of space. Although a majority of the fling steps are very stationary, there is one step in particular that can be done with more side-to-side movement. The reason the fling is done on the spot has to do with the history of the fling. In the story about the young boy, Charlie Mill tells us that he hopped up and down on the spot, which is also what we saw in the video. There is also another story behind the Highland Fling that gives even more insight into this stationary dance. According to the Scottish St. Andrew's Society of Greater St. Louis, when soldiers won a battle, they would set their targes on the ground and dance a fling on top of these shields. The only catch is that according to the same stores, targes have a large spike sticking out of the middle. For your reference, this is what a targe looks like. The source also sums up the dance perfectly. One had to be very fleet of foot to carry out this event safely due to the spike, hence the reason why the Highland Fling dancers have to dance on the spot using close and nimble footwork. Since the Earl does not share the same history, it makes sense that these two dances use the space in 2 different ways. Not only is space used differently, but the movement itself is also very different. The last aspect that I would like to focus on is the actual movement found in each dance. In the fling, there's a lot of hopping up and down on one leg, and the positions of the leg are very angular. Since the weight is almost always on one foot, the other leg is free to move around. Although the dancer did not do this very well, both of the legs are supposed to be turned out the entire time, and both feet are supposed to be pointed the entire time. In addition, the dance is performed at a high level, and the dancer is constantly jumping the entire time. The movement itself is also very linear and flat. Most of the leg movements are to the side, with the exception of the third step, which also uses the diagonals. Although the Earl does share some of these qualities, it does not share all of them. The Earl is a lot more grounded and is slightly less about hopping on one leg. There is still a lot of jumping in this dance, but there is also some movement that has more of a walking quality to it. As a result, the fling is much more about the jump, and the Earl is about both the plie and the jump. It is also slightly less linear than the fling, but we do see that there is still a lot of movements done to the side. The movement in the Earl is also less sharp. Although there are moments of sharpness, especially when the dancer seems to kick her leg out to the side, there is not as many of those moments as there are in the fling. According to Highland Rubble, the Earl used to be done in hard shoes. I was actually able to find a video of this, so I will let you watch the video. This version is a lot more about making sounds with the feet and almost seems to resemble a tap dance. The K to Good School of Dance, one of the ones who posted this video on Facebook, also makes the comment that they want their dancers to have this same rhythm when they do the Earl, indicating that this dance is a lot more rhythmic than the fling. Another movement aspect that I would like to talk about is the way that the dances start and end. In the Highland Fling, the dancer started and ended with a bow, and in the Earl of Errol, the dancer started and ended with a curtsy. I was talking to my mom, and she told me that she believes the bowing started as a way for the dancers to show their awareness for the bagpiper that was playing for them. She continued by saying that since the dances were done by men at the beginning, they bowed instead of curtsied. When the national dances came into existence, a similar thing happened, but she said that this time they curtsied because they were done by women at the beginning. She then discussed the idea that when these dances started being used for competitions, the bow and curtsy became a way to show the dancers' awareness for both the judges and the bagpiper. The movement found in each dance is pretty different, even though they are both Highland dances. This concludes my project in Highland Dance. I hope that you were able to learn a lot from this screencast and now have a greater appreciation for the art form. I must say that there are plenty of other Highland dances out there, and I hope that I've inspired you to learn more about these other dances as well. As you can see, I've provided links to a couple more of these dances, and I hope that you will enjoy these as well. Enjoy, and thanks for watching. Now, this is the first part of my works cited. These are all the websites and emails and PDFs that I used. And then I also have this. These were the videos that we watched in this screencast. And then here are the images. I also had the citations under each image, but here they are again. And I just would like to make some acknowledgments. I want to thank my mom for helping me and giving me ideas and helping me with the photographs and posing me in the boy in dress one. And also to Debbie Tortorolo for looking over my project and for giving me some advice on what to add, and all other people that helped me in my Highland dancing career. And so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.